So in this problem, we're asked to find the first and second derivative of the function, and we're given the function f of x, which is equal to e to the x minus x to the 8. So what you need to recognize on this problem is f prime of x is the first derivative, f double prime of x is the second derivative. So the first derivative is just the derivative of our function, that's what we're used to. But the second derivative is the derivative of this function right here, so the derivative of our first derivative. So let's go ahead and solve it. So f prime of x is equal to e to the x minus 8, that's the function we're given. So f prime of x is the derivative of this. So equals the derivative with respect to x of e to the x minus the derivative with respect to x of x to the 8. So the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. That's just a rule you got to know. So f prime of x is equal to e to the x. And then we got to find the derivative of x to the 8. So we'll use the power rule. So x to the 8, the derivative of it. You just move the 8 out front. So we do 8x. And then we subtract 1 from our exponent. That's our new one. So 8x to the 7. So e to the x minus 8x to the 7. So that's going to be our first derivative, 8x to the 7. And then so our second derivative, f double prime of x, is the derivative of this. So the derivative with respect to x of e to the x minus the derivative with respect to x of 8x to the 7. So let's go ahead and solve it. So from the last problem, we know that the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. Then we got to find the derivative of 8x to the 7, so we're going to use the power rule again. So 8x to the 7, we move this out front and multiply, so 7 times 8 is 56, 56x, and then we subtract 1 from our exponent, so it's going to become 6. So e to the x minus 56x to the 6. So let's write that up here, e to the x minus 56x to the 6. And so this is going to be the first and second derivative of this function.